waiting for my panel. My baby's here. Thank you for the support, baby.
You're welcome.
Abby's here. Let me go say hi to Abby. Preparing to start the panel. There's a full house in here today. I'm Charlie. I lived in Korea for 3.5 years. I moved there in 2010 for 1.5 years, and then went to Mexico for 1 year, and then came back to Korea because it's kind of hard to leave. And I stayed there for 2 more years, and I was an English teacher and video blogger while living in Korea. When I first went to Korea, I had a friend who was teaching in China, and I had never heard of teaching abroad. Once she told me that that was a possibility, I jumped on the opportunity. I ended up going to Korea instead of China, and it was the best decision ever because my life turned out pretty good. Back then in 2010, there weren't many people vlogging about, especially being Black in Korea. So I started vlogging about that experience and just sharing my real experiences and like the challenges that I went through. It was a really big growth experience for me because it was the first time I had spent that long away from home. And so I learned about myself, and I discovered myself while abroad, and even just appreciating my differences while abroad. So yeah, I went through the talk program the first time around. It was a teaching program in Korea. And then the second time around, I went through EPIC. And teaching is like one of the easiest ways to get to Korea for a longer term, yes. The towels are small, like this small. It's like those little hand towels. So bring a normal size towel. Well, our normal. Their normal is different than our normal size. If you are a darker shade complexion, bring your makeup, bring your hair, like everything if you're attached to things, bring everything you're attached to. For me, preparing my documents for teaching was the biggest stressful thing. It can take about 3 months to actually get everything together. If you forget anything, you're good as long as you have your passport.
When I first went like 10 years ago, there was no deodorant. I never ever saw it.
Yeah.
You'd have to go to some tiny little creepy shop in like Itaewon to find one stick of deodorant, but now it's not like that. But also sheets. That's something like fitted sheets for a bed if you're planning to sleep on a bed and not a mat on the floor, because they have a different sheet system. It's sort of like a cover, and then like another cover, and then a blanket, and that's fine. But if you're attached to having fitted sheets on your bed, I think you can get them at IKEA in Korea now, but that's the only place I've found.
For teachers, you actually get your housing for free in Korea. That's something that a lot of people don't realize unless you research into it. Yeah, take that note. Some of the things that are included, the 2 main perks of teaching in Korea compared to any other country, is you get round-trip flights and your housing paid for. You might have to get your flight reimbursed, so you might pay it up front and then get it reimbursed. And then your housing is paid for. The only thing you have to pay for are your utilities, which is pretty cheap, and your food and transportation. But yeah, consider that if you're thinking about going to Korea and teaching.
If you visit Korea for more than like a month, I would highly recommend you stay at Hasuk because you'll have a whole bunch of like students living there or like young professionals like in their early 20s. And so when you eat breakfast and dinner, obviously you're gonna be eating at the same communal table. You can mingle with them and then you'll have a Korean friend.
I had lived there for 3.5 years. I'm able to have a decent conversation with people, tell them what I need, ask them how they're doing, and tell them about myself. And I guess I can see how I've grown over time. It will be challenging, and you're gonna be using a lot of sign language and body language in the beginning. Yeah, like food, like, yeah, you point, look at pictures, try and talk to Koreans. Like, don't just hang out with foreigners the whole time. I recommend talk to me in Korean. Yeah, they're really good. Yeah.
Well, the only mistake that I always see that always like bugs me from foreigners, because I'm a foreigner too, is when you're in Korea, it's inevitable that you're going to use public transportation. And you know that they're foreigners because you'll look and you'll be like, yep. When you ride the 지하철, especially like during the morning time, you know, like that 5 a.m., 6 a.m. subway, and you talk loud, you know that you were drinking all night, you know, and you're taking that first subway home, and it's just like, shut up, man. We gotta go to work. What I'm trying to say is, when you go to Korea and you use the subway system, just use your whisper voice.
Be conscious of how you dress. Like, even what I'm wearing right now could be like, ooh, that's a little risky. But actually, it's becoming a little bit, you're seeing a little bit more being shown. They wear shorter things from the bottom, but keep things covered from the top. Yeah, so especially if you're working, but even in anywhere like you go, because you might get told by like an ajumma or something.
Oh dear.
Like, yeah. So usually the chest is something they cover. Yeah.
Cover your chest.
People who have just gotten to Korea, they kind of walk around. They've heard Korea is a really safe country, and so they're just kind of leaving their stuff sitting there. They're getting drunk, and they have nobody who knows where they are and what they're doing. And that's, just don't do that anywhere. Like, Korea is a safe place, but there's still plenty of cases of sexual assault, places where like people who will rob you. There's not many of them, but they might find you and rob you if your bag is just lying there. So just like be aware of your surroundings, because things do happen. So I've had many people I know who have just kind of let it all hang out and gotten drunk, and then something happens.
What is one thing you can't leave the house without now, like, since you've lived in Korea? Like, is there anything?
For me, I actually have it with me.
Oh, you have to? Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Well, I don't know if you guys are gonna laugh, but like, this is wet tissue. Well, in Korea, you have to have tissue with you because sometimes the public restrooms don't have toilet paper or tissue. So bring this, and it's just nice. It's convenient. So I got used to like having wet tissue or just tissue with me. Even if you like need to wipe off your hands, or this is really big actually. This is huge. Yeah, it's multi-purpose. I just got in the habit of having tissue with me. For me, it's always the same story. When I first came to Korea, I think it was like 2 or 3 months in. I met one of my closest friends there. Her name is Minji. I guess she had told her mom about me because I didn't meet her with her mom. But that day that I met her through a belly dance instructor because I was taking belly dance classes. And so that night, Minji texted me and was like, oh, I told my mom about you, and she was sad that she didn't get to meet you. I don't know what she told her mom about me, but I guess she said, oh, I met a foreigner, and I don't know what else she said. But so she told me to come over the next day around lunchtime, and I was like, okay. So I went over to her house, and her mom had this whole vegetarian Korean feast laid out for me. And I guess she had told her mom that I was a vegetarian, and like she just invited me over. I had no idea. I just thought I was coming to meet her mom. And her mom had prepared this whole meal for me that was specific to what I could eat. And I just felt so welcomed, and I will always leave Korea and think of Korea with that memory of just how welcoming many people can be and how open they are to welcome you in. So yeah. We're in Koreatown now at a supermarket, and they actually have something that I miss from Korea, so I'm going to show you. This is actually called perilla leaf, sesame leaf. Yes, sesame leaf. And I would usually put it in our wraps when we made Vietnamese rice paper wraps, and they taste so good in there. I know it's so random, but that's something that I really miss from Korea.
Tell me what you ate. Tell me what. Tell me what. Tell me what. So tell me what you waiting for. Tell me what. Tell me what. Tell me what.
So apparently we have VIP seating, and we're going to the K-pop concert. I actually didn't know we had VIP seating. Thank you, KCON, for the seating.
Artist ever since I was around, I bring
Pretty close.
people with cultures and talents together.
The concert's getting ready to start.
맞습니다. 이곳은 정말 핫
Hot summer.
Hot
Hot summer. 내 앞에서 나를 척해요. Hands up. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It was ho ho out my head.
지금 메인 보컬 이주이다.
아무개는 누나들 want to see message 전화기는 진짜 보내기 전에 그냥 칭찬받는 디스플레이가 놓치죠
Stand up straight, find your way, find your way, find your way.
일단 정말 정말
Today I want to announce my meetup here in Los Angeles. It's actually going to be in Long Beach at Sherrer Park. It'll be here on Saturday at 3 o'clock.